and behold, welcome to São Paulo. I'm here. There's an incredible traffic here, so I don't know if you can hear this. We're next to the metro station, Morumbi. We can see São Paulo's, I think, one of the most iconic bridges they have in the city, right here. I'm crossing a bridge myself now to get to one of the, actually the second biggest favela in the city, which is called Paraísopolis. Sorry, my Brazilian isn't yet where it should be. But we're gonna pass Morumbi, which is actually one of the richer neighborhoods in the city. And the reason why this favela, it's the second biggest, but it's also one of the most famous, because there's an iconic photograph that shows the injustice between the richest, bom dia, and the people who don't have anything. And it actually shows a balcony with swimming pools. Everybody has a swimming pool. And next to it is the favela. So that shows how different the situation in Brazil can be. People who have everything, a swimming pool on their balcony, and people who don't have anything. Just in the 90s they got like roadworks done and streaming water and electricity. And that's why I wanted to go into this favela, because it was a very bad place for a very long time, and it's still not one of the best places to go. People warned me not to go here, or at least they told me to watch out, which I understand. I read as well that the area is controlled by PCC, Principal Comando da Capital, which is the largest criminal organization or criminal gang here in São Paulo. So it's not free of danger, but they say it has been transforming into, actually, instead of a favela, it's slowly transforming into a neighborhood. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna pause now and we're gonna look, because I need to walk a lot. I think I still need to walk 4 kilometers before I get there. So let's see what happens. And I will show you the Morumbi side, like the rich area, and then we'll get into the favela. Now behind me you can see one of the houses. Birds are screaming. And behind me you can see one of the houses in Morumbi, and it's huge. Even for European standards, it's crazy big. They have like a nice rhino statue in front. Huge door, huge garage. Everywhere there are cameras there as well. Huge gates, expensive cars, garages. Like there in the corner you can see I think it's like a sort of private security, personal security actually. Lookout. I don't know if it's used right now here as well. So you can see these people do have money. Don't know what this building is, but they're huge walls, huge gates, huge doors, expensive cars, everything, and very nice. So this is Morumbi, the richest area, or one of the richest in São Paulo. And I didn't tell you that yet, but it's very interesting as well. Gated community. But I didn't tell that yet, but São Paulo is not only the biggest city of Brazil, with around 12 to 12.5 million inhabitants, but it's actually the biggest city in the southern hemisphere. It's the biggest city of the western hemisphere as well, even bigger than New York, bigger than Los Angeles, bigger than, well, it's actually the biggest city in the Americas. So you can imagine that there are a lot of people in this city, and not everybody had a place to live, especially when the city started to grow, which was in the early 20s. And the place where we're going to, Paraísopolis, was created in 1921, so it's already over 100 years old. And the story is, the history is that actually a lot of landowners had land around the city of São Paulo, so in the outskirts, what is now Morumbi and Paraísopolis. And at some point, a huge landowner sold the terrain and divided it up into, like, I think it was 2,200 lots. So people could buy a lot, build their house, and, well, make a place like this, like Morumbi. But the point was, it's on a plateau, so it's elevated above all the other areas around here. So it was really hard to get to. So even the city had problems, like making roads and getting the electricity done and the water, the pipelines. So eventually they abandoned the project and it became a terrain for squatters. So illegally people set up their houses to find a place to live, and usually they were migrants from other parts of Brazil. So they were coming from the northeast, they were coming from the center of Brazil and from Minas Gerais. And all those people went up the hills and made their own places there to live and created basically the first foundations of the favela, what is now known as Paraísopolis. Let's find out what we can see. Now. Desculpa? Tudo bom, sim. Você?
Oi.
Quero ir lá. É perigoso ou...
Não,
Não? Tudo bom?
tudo humilde.
Ok.
Tudo
Essa aqui.
só pé. Sem parar.
Sim. Cansado?
Hã?
Cansado? Caminhar?
Nada.
Ok.
Oxe, só dá mão. Todo mundo vai ao seu pé.
Ah, sim.
Entendeu?
Eu também. Muito caminho.
Olha ali, ó.
Sim.
Vai. Pode ir. Explique o que o senhor é. Hoje todo mundo vai te abraçar, ó.
Abraçado?
Oh,
Forte?
porque você é uma pessoa que quer ajudar o povo, católico, os caras. Então, ao ver, não tem jeito. Pode entrar. Isso aí eu conheço tudo. Mas chegue desse jeito mesmo, trabalhando, pá. Tá? Todo mundo vai te amar.
Eu não falo português muito bom.
Tá bom?
Sim.
Pode ir.
Mas pode continuar lá. E aí,
Ah, você vai.
como pista de skate, você sabe?
Tem lá.
Lá.
Pode
à
descer
esquerda.
assim, ó, direto.
Ah, ok.
Direto. Todo mundo vai. Pode dizer que pode ir, mas.
Muito bom.
Tá bom?
Obrigado.
Oh,
Bom dia.
valeu, hein, cara.
Até logo. Asking for some directions. The man said it was safe, actually, like the whole neighborhood, so I don't know. For a favela it seems safe, but we can already see the difference. There's garbage and trash on the streets. And right there on the side of the hills we can see the actual favela and all its houses. But it became so big that they actually there's a lot of normal houses nowadays as well. There's electricity. They say all the electricity is actually tapped off illegally, so they don't have any. They don't pay any electricity bills here. Você sabe onde pode comprar água? Como tendita? Sim? Há tenda lá, loja.
Sim, só descer.
Aqui à direita. Tudo bom. Obrigado. Olá, bom dia.
Opa.
Vocês vendem água?
Oi?
Água?
Ah, eu tenho 2 litros, a pequena acabou, tem 2 litros.
2 litros.
Quer?
Ah, sim, está bom.
Tá bom?
Sim. Quanto seria? Quanto é?
5.
Quantos reais?
Oi? 5 reais.
5 reais?
5.
5? Ok,
É.
muito bom.
Ah, 50 reais.
Sim.
Era ouro, né?
Tem volta de 20. Você sabe se é perigoso aqui?
Oi?
Sim?
Isso é perigoso?
Sim? Para caminhar?
Não,
Não?
sossegado.
Tudo tranquilo.
É, tranquilo, aqui tranquilo.
Muito bom.
É favela, mas
Sim, não?
é tranquilo.
Por isso.
Uhum.
É lido também que é a favela segundo mais grande da São Paulo.
É a segunda mais grande de São Paulo.
Mas não é perigoso então.
Hã?
Não é perigoso.
É. Não, não é perigoso não. Só que o cara que procura meio, né?
E você mora aqui muito tempo?
Não, eu tô aqui só 8 meses só.
8 meses?
É, eu vi esse comercinho aqui.
Sem sacola.
Oi?
Sem sacola.
Sem sacola, né?
Sim, está bom.
Tá bom.
Muito obrigado.
Falou.
Então você não conhece muito bom como lá no centro da favela?
É, isso. O centro é lá, mais lá pra cima, lá, né? Aqui já é mais e aqui na avenida
Da
também.
loja, da
isso.
restaurantes.
Isso.
Ok. Obrigado.
Nada.
Vou caminhar.
Tá, beleza.
Muito gosto.
Falou, obrigado.
Prazer.
Viu?
Boa tarde.
Boa tarde.
So the man said it wasn't actually dangerous. Again, it was pretty safe. This whole area. But he didn't live here for very long. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. So I'm just gonna have some water because I was walking for quite a long while. And then we will continue our journey into the favela. One of the little side streets.
Não, vou jogar dentro de uma caixa. Vou jogar dentro de uma caixa. Eu sei. Até eu posso me cortar.
We're now in front of Casa de Pedra from Esteban. That's the name of the artist. I don't know the last name. I asked some lady here in the store next to this, but she doesn't know either, and he's not home. He made a work of art, and the lady actually told me I couldn't film outside in the street because it's a bit dangerous. People obviously don't like to be filmed when they're doing illicit and illegal activities. You can actually go inside the house as well, and there's a balcony on top as well, and you can see all of Paraísopolis. This guy, he did everything, or he used everything. Bottle caps, stones, coffee cups, actual radios, telephones, ashtrays, CDs. So he made his whole house into a work of art. But he's not home today, so we can't go in the house. And well, this is like how they use their electricity, or how they get their electricity. There's power lines everywhere. And of course all illegal, they don't pay for this. And this is how they built their houses. Olá, senhora. Tudo bom?
Tá filmando?
Sim, para mostrar a Casa de Pedra.
Oi?
Como se chama a artista?
Aqui é
Estevan, não? Não é?
Eu esqueci o nome dele agora.
Estevan?
Mas eu sei, eu conheço ele.
Sim?
Você quer falar com ele?
Sim, mas hoje não está.
Assim.
Não.
Não tá?
Não, não.
Você já bateu lá?
Amanhã então.
Ah, sim.
Sim.
Então ótimo. Bom trabalho.
É perigoso aqui para caminhar?
Muito bacana. Ele que fez, tá?
Sim?
Tem mais de 30 anos, mas é ele que fez tudo isso. Bacana, né?
Ok. Mas para lá é perigoso para filmar?
Não.
Não?
Vamos, tem.
Ok.
Eu vou parar.
Muito bom. Obrigado.
Tá. Quer que eu chamo ele?
Não, não está. A senhora já.
Estevam! Cadê o Estevam? Aqui, ó. Estevam!
A gente disseram que não está hoje.
Ah, não tá?
Não, não, não.
Então saiu.
Amanhã.
Amanhã, então vem amanhã.
Sim.
Tá?
Até logo.
Tchau.
Bom dia. So Estevan is not home. We rang his bell, but he doesn't open the door. So now we're sure. But this is how they built their houses. Usually it was 1 and 2 floors, but as you can see, this third part, like this is all white walls, and then they built this part on top, which isn't finished, or it does look unfinished, and there as well. Because the people, they've been living here so long that they actually started building on top of each other, like third and even fourth floors. And they rent out all those top apartments to make some extra money here. Because, well, it's hard living. Since the 90s, they couldn't get a lot of transport and water and electricity up to here. So, and even groceries had to be dragged up here.
Era aqui?
Olá, tudo bom?
Aqui que você estava procurando?
Como?
Aqui que você procurou, que você perguntou para mim, Casas de Pedra?
Sim, sim.
Nós vamos parcelar em até 10 vezes.
So,
É só aqui na JM Celular, acessórios em geral. Tá legal? Então vem pra cá, aproveita.
I don't know how many years he spent on this, but like I said, the places here are pretty raggedy, and they can use the extra money. So that's why they rented out those places to other people. But now the municipality is trying to make a real neighborhood out of it instead of just a favela. So they got light, they got water, they got electricity, they got supermarkets, everything. They got a library, which we will visit in a while. So we're gonna see and discover more of this favela. I'm getting deeper into this place, and it's getting tighter as well. But there's actually a lot of stuff going on there. The Posta de Vacunación over there. There's a primary school here. Obrigado. Você sabe se é perigoso para caminhar aqui com câmera?
Não, tem certos lugares que não pode.
Sim?
É melhor você só filmar onde é que você estiver.
Sim?
Entendeu? Senão eles vão chamar sua atenção.
Ok.
Não anda assim com a câmera filmando assim, não. Só no lugar onde você estiver você filma. Entendeu?
Sim. É difícil.
É.
Oh, como prédio. This man is gonna help me find the way to the biblioteca.
Você leva, né?
Ah, aqui.
Sobe a escada aqui, ó. Só sobe a escada.
Obrigado.
Nada.
Eu quero fazer um pico pra vocês.
So here's the library. Hold on. You had steps, not wheelchair accessible. Not yet. This is the public library. Then I have to be quiet.
Oi.
Hola.
Tudo bem?
Sim, muito bom. Books about Bin Laden. Hitler. They have a good bibliography here. Well, it's very small, but it's a start. It's more here. Music. Music? Yeah, here, CDs. Travel books. Olá, posso perguntar algo para sobre a biblioteca?
Pode.
Ok, eu não falo muito bom português, então eu acho que você me entende. Quanto tempo fica aqui, a biblioteca?
Quantos anos?
Sim?
Eu acho que a gente vai fazer 30 anos.
30 anos?
Isso.
Então, às 90 cheguei à biblioteca?
Por aí.
Ok, antes de você nasceu?
Sim, antes
Sim.
de nascer.
Ok. E a comunidade aqui, você mora aqui?
Moro.
Sim? Mas lá ou lá?
Eu moro lá pra baixo.
Ok.
Foi onde teve a primeira biblioteca, foi lá embaixo. Aí depois a gente subiu pra cá.
E todavia ainda se considera favela aqui ou mais como comunidade?
Eu acho que mais como comunidade.
Sim, porque o governo está tratando para melhorar as coisas,
para
né?
melhorar, as
Sim,
casas
sim.
já estão melhores.
Mas lá é centro da favela, não? Como ponto mais velho?
Não.
Olá.
Eu acho que o centro mesmo é ali pra Rua da Feira.
Sim,
Ali
como
numa
o ponto
rua
mais alto?
Alto.
Sim.
Não sei muito te dizer. Eu moro aqui, mas eu não conheço muito tudo.
Ok.
Mas eu acho que é mais lá pra cima, assim. Bem mais pra lá. Que
E
ainda
perigoso para ir lá? Ou...
Não, não é.
Não? Ok.
Eu acho que não é muito perigoso andar aqui.
Ok. Mas como eu, como gringo?
O povo de fora que acha porque não conhece.
Ok.
Mas é tranquilo.
Ok.
Aí pra lá que tem ainda, tipo, umas casas mais antigas.
Essa eu me gostaria de ver.
Mas
Sim.
é mais pra lá.
Ok, então vou para lá.
Aí você pode perguntar, não?
Ok.
Eles vão te guiando.
Muito bom. Obrigado.
Nada.
Até logo.
Até.
Now, I want to go to the football pitch. A young girl said actually that the biblioteca, like the library, I almost forget how to speak English, but the library is already here for 30 years. And they have this football pitch as well. Little kids already practicing to become the next Ronaldinho. Let's see if he can make a goal. He does. Olá. Can't actually film here, so I need authorization from a group. But they're gonna bring me on the bike to where I need to be. Você como se chama?
Clayton.
Clayton. So I got my new Brazilian friend Clayton here. He's gonna bring me to the center.
É aqui, ó.
Aqui.
Vai ver se eu levo lá. Salve, cachorro.
Bom dia.
Bom dia.
Como é que é isso aí? Tá pegando a filmagem?
Boa.
Vira a câmera pra lá, pai.
Vira a câmera pra lá. Abaixa a câmera pra lá.
I'm walking at the outskirts of Paraísopolis now, because I was actually kicked out of the favela. That's a new one for me, being kicked out of a favela. But during the bike ride with Clayton, I was filming, and some guys came up to me like when we parked the car, because we would meet somebody else, because you can't actually go in on your own, and that means you need to always have a guide going with you to actually go into the favela, so they can show you the good places and actually say you can film here but you can't film there. And that's what happened. I filmed somewhere where I shouldn't film, because there were like some chefs that, well, they weren't too nice looking. So I guess they were involved into some illegal stuff, and they didn't want their faces to be shown. So that means I actually got held up. He asked me why I was filming and what I was filming, what I was doing here, why I was coming to the favelas, all that kind of shit. And with that, they sort of held me up. I had to give my SD card so they could actually see what footage I shot and what I did. And well, everything was okay. I have to see it back now myself, because I haven't checked yet what if they did anything, but they said they didn't delete anything. But yeah, I can't go back. There was a guy, Clayton, he dropped me off as well, like to the outskirts of the city. As you see, I'm again where I started. So that means I need to go back to what's the name of the station? Morumbi, to the metro station. And from there, yes, I can get with a guide, but only on Friday, and it's now Wednesday, so in 2 days I can go again, but I need a guide to go in, so they can tell me what is good and what isn't. But now I have to walk all this freaking way back to the metro station, which was pretty far. So yeah, I can retry. I don't know if I will do, because I don't know, there wasn't much more than I just saw. Well, there's some sort of like the inner workings of the favela, which is even crazier and busier. There's no roads there. It's just sidewalks or small alleyways with a lot of staircases, and that's about it. So I don't know, maybe we'll do, maybe we won't. Otherwise, this is the end of the video. Going alone into the favela in São Paulo, my first experience. Wasn't very successful, but the people were very nice, and even those guys, they were, you know, intimidating because there were, I don't know, like 4 or 5 of them around me, and they stared at me and were talking to somebody else on the phone while they were they wanted my Instagram to see what I was doing here, and they wanted my chip to see what I was recording. So of course there's a lot of mistrust, but I guess it's more for their safety than for mine. So it was, you know, like, it was educated. They didn't threaten me or anything, they just asked a lot of questions, and that's the worst that happened actually. I was out of battery, so I don't know what I already told and where it cut off. Yeah, they smiled, we gave hands, we shook hands. Yeah, they just followed the way. I had to give my SD card though for them to see what was on the video, but afterwards they said, I don't know yet because I can't look, I can't see it back right now, so I have to do that when I'm home. But they said that they didn't delete anything, so yeah, I have to believe their word for it until I get back, then I can see for myself. But yeah, it was all fine, I guess. Like, they didn't have any problem with the material recorded. And now I am in the nice neighborhood of Morumbi again, with even, it's so nice that people even leave their Range Rover outside to rot away. That's how much money they have, probably. Although there are a lot of places for sale as well. Boa tarde. Tudo bem? Sim, para mim é canal do YouTube. Boa tarde. That's how people treat you on the streets as well. So they're very friendly, and even the guys, like the gang members, I will call them, you know, I don't know what they exactly were, but even they were sort of friendly and they smiled and they shook hands, so everything was all right. But yeah, it was a little uncomfortable for me, and yeah, I had to give my SD card, and then Clayton brought me back to another place where I first met him, and yeah, then I just had to wait for, I don't know, like 30 minutes to an hour to get my SD card back. I ate some acai, which was nice, but yeah, they they brought me out of the favela. Clayton brought me on the bike, and they said, like, yeah, too many people saw your face and they know about you now, so it's better if you just go and don't wander around alone anymore, because you're gonna get a lot more trouble if you keep, you know, walking around and going further into the favela. So here I am in Morumbi, safe and sound, and I'm going back to the metro station. They told me I could go back on Friday because now they don't have a guide, but on Friday there is a guide. I don't know if I will do it. You know, I've seen enough, I guess, although it would be nice to go deeper into the favela, so I might do it. What more is there to see? It's like a lot of people, small houses stacked on top of each other. There's no streets where I wanted to go, like deep into the favela. It's actual alleyways, and there's no cars that can go into there. So just people walking, and yeah, a lot of insane staircases that are super steep, like the library we saw, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I might go again, but then I need to go with a guide. So I don't know if I can fix that on Friday, because I don't want to hang out too long anymore on in São Paulo, but you know, if we can do that, it would be cool. If we won't, I'm sort of happy with the experience I got now as well. That's it for today. The favela, the second biggest favela in São Paulo. Yeah, unique experience. Got kicked out of it, which never happened. Well, I never went into a favela, but I never got kicked out either, so both are new for me. And I hope I can make more videos, and I will be safe, or safer than I was in this video, or I felt in this video, but let's see what's gonna come up. For now, signing off from the beautiful neighborhood of Morumbi. If you want to go to São Paulo, I would recommend this, and there's no problem filming here. Be careful when you want to film inside the favelas, because not everybody likes it. So that's it for now, signing off. Lo and behold, see you later.